Exploring Tanimbar Islands means exploring its culture and traditions and discovering its heavenly natural views. Most of the people in the area live by farming and selling the fish that they catch. Women keep the household running. They often help by weaving traditional cloth. The cloth could be sold or worn by themselves or their relatives. Some follow age-old traditions and put their artistic ability to work, making handicrafts. Using beautiful ebony and orang wood, they make belts, models of ships, and statues. Since the introduction of Christianity, almost everyone has become Christians and Catholics. But even so, their traditional beliefs in their ancestors are still strongly held. The blending of local beliefs and Catholicism were clearly seen while we were there. They asked permission of their ancestors and also asked God to keep them protected. In the ritual, the elders used traditional Catholic prayers to the Holy Father and to Mary. These prayers are usually accompanied by ceremonial palm wine, sopi, to symbolize the local brotherhood. Sopi is also a problem solver and is a mandatory element in all of their customs. Sopi acted as a tool for the landowners or elders to communicate with their ancestors. The area was not only rich in culture and tradition. People believed Tanimbar Islands were rich in their great abundance of biodiversity, created by its geographical location. Located among the Maluku Islands in the north, Celebes in the northwest, the small Sunda Islands in the west, and with Australia to the south and Papua to the east. Just now we enjoyed the city of Somlaki in Yamdina Island, where we heard that the Conservation Office for Natural Resources had confiscated Goffin and Tanimbar cockatoos from local people. This bird is a native to Tanimbar Islands, which is regulated and protected by the Minister of Environment and Forestry of the Republic of Indonesia. The Tanimbar cockatoo is considered threatened, according to the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, or CITES, and at the International Union for Conservation of Nature, or IUCN. Various species of birds in the Psittacidae and Cockatuidae groups, including the Tanimbar cockatoo, are trade commodities for export outside of Indonesia. People want exotic pets.
Kasus penyelundupan begini ya jadi ancaman juga bagi satwa. Nah itu yang mungkin yang lebih fatal lagi kalau yang baru ditangkap dari alam. Karena apapun dia kan masih liar. Jadi dipaksain kan dia pasti melawan. Tapi kalau yang sudah dipelihara lama, agak jinak pasti dia ikut nurut tuannya kan. Nah seperti itu. Ya seperti ini. Ini cara-cara yang mereka lakukan untuk penyelundupan satwa. antar pulau kan, ya. Jadi bisa satwa ini burung dia dimasukin di sini, ya. Terus mereka, ya, kelabui petugas, masukin dalam tas, ya. Baru dia. Jadi kita susah untuk. Nah, itu yang kasus-kasus yang pernah kami alami itu. Akhirnya kan mati semua. Pelakunya kami tangkap, proses, ya satwanya kami amankan di PRS, akhirnya satwanya juga mati. Nah seperti itu, yang disayangkan juga ini kasus seperti ini akan terjadi di Tanimbar seperti ini yang sekarang ini. Pergi dan berkembang biak kau.
The avifauna researcher Tri Harioko and friends hurriedly went to where TGE birds were confiscated and took 56 Tanimbar cockatoos to habituation cages. Tri went to Tanimbar Island once and conducted joint research focusing on the cockatoo of Tanimbar. This joint research brought Tri back to Tanimbar Island, along with his fellow researchers from the Deputy of Natural Science, Indonesian Institute of Sciences. Tri conducted observation and identification in several locations of Tanimbar Islands, which are Yamdina Island and Selaru Island and Larat Island. The Tanimbar cockatoo is a native Indonesian crooked-beaked bird. It is found in the province of Maluku and is an endemic species of Tanimbar Island.
Sebagai burung yang endemik di Kepulauan Tanimbar, ini sangat menarik perhatian peneliti ataupun wisatawan untuk melakukan bird watching. Karena memang burung ini hanya ada di Kepulauan Tanimbar. Kita masih dapat mudah menjumpai burung-burung tersebut di area ladang maupun pinggir hutan di sekitar Pulau Yamdena, Pulau Selaru, Pulau Larat. Kita masih mudah menjumpainya. Walaupun secara populasi tidak sebanyak tahun 80-an yang diperkirakan populasi sekitar 300 sampai 400 ribu individu.
The Tanimbar cockatoo is extraordinarily intelligent. This bird has shown problem-solving ability in finding food, rivaling that of primate groups. Various studies were conducted to determine the level of intelligence in nature and in the laboratory. Cockatoos of Tanimbar have white feathers and pink bridle-like patches on both sides of the beak. Their ears are covered with yellowish feathers. The chest and lower side body have a dusting of pink. Its lower flying and tail feathers are yellowish in color. The beak was gray or white. Male birds have dark brown eyes. The females have red eyes. This feature allows observers to distinguish between the sexes. These cockatoos have husky voices, but are able to scream loudly. Their body length is around 31 centimeters, with its weight being around 350 grams. This is the smallest species of the Cockatooidae family. This cockatoo bird reproduced around August or December by laying 1 or 2 eggs. Even so, during this research, we only found 1 hatchling inside a nesting hole. So, not all the eggs hatched and grow into hatchlings, or remained alive till it flew by itself. The sun was not so high when Tri entered the edge of the forest in Laurelund village. The diversity of bird species possessed by the Tanimbar Island makes it a great place for bird watching, and it is a popular special interest tourist destination. But there are more than just the cockatoos to see on Tanimbar Island. There are also many other species of birds in the area. Here we could also find a variety of local endemic parrots. Several kinds of eagles could also be found at the edges of the forests, near fields, and also in the forests. Several kinds of pigeons, small and big, could also be found here. Several water bird species can also be seen, especially around the swamp area. Not only settler birds, but the swamp was also known as a transit place for migratory birds from Australia. For several days, the Tanimbar cockatoo has been kept safe at the Wildlife Center, and it is now ready to be released back into nature. One by one, the Tanimbar cockatoos are banded to be able to tell the birds apart and to facilitate monitoring.
Sebelum burung itu dilepaskan kembali ke alam, kita harus lakukan perlakuan terlebih dahulu terhadap burung kakatua goviniana ini. Karena memang karakter dari burung kakatua goviniana ini sangat mudah jinak. Karena memang mereka sudah terbiasa hidup di hutan dan di kebun, artinya berinteraksi dengan manusia. Dan makanannya juga seperti yang manusia makan. Ada jagung, ada kacang panjang, sehingga mereka sangat mudah dipelihara dan jinak untuk di dalam rumah-rumah. Oleh karena itu ketika melakukan penyitaan, burung-burung itu harus dihabituasi dulu, diadaptasikan untuk bisa menjadi liar kembali sebelum kita lepaskan. Nah, dengan proses habituasi ini diharapkan burung akan menjadi liar kembali. Jadi setelah proses habituasi, sebelum dilepas liarkan dengan metode pencincinan. Jadi setiap individu yang akan dilepas liarkan, kita kasih tanda cincin. Cincin kita taruh di kaki sebelah kanan, karena kaki kiri ini menjadi kebiasaan burung itu ketika dia makan, megang pakan itu ada di kaki kiri. Sehingga cincin tadi kita taruh di kaki kanan.
Days went by. In the warm afternoon, we gather in the island of Angarmasa with a group of local women who sing together to symbolize their friendliness. They sang a song about the beauty of Tanimbar Islands and the kindness of the people. The sun set in the west, replaced by the darkness of the night. There is a folk story about the origin of cockatoos on Tanimbar. The people of Tanimbar called it Tlengoy Lemetanan.
Manik tilngoi itu bahasa Tanimbar ya. Kalau burung kakatua ya bahasa Indonesia. Jadi manik burung, tilngoi kakatua.
One of the folk tales tells the origin of why the parrot ate the harvest before humans could eat it.
Jadi memang dia berasal dari manusia, anak kecil. Lalu pada saat dia naik di atas bubungan itu, setelah menyampaikan kepada orang tuanya bahwa besok lusa kalau orang tua punya tanaman, orang tua belum ambil atau manusia belum panen, saya harus makan lebih dahulu. Itu sayapnya sudah ada, langsung dia terbang sendiri.
Burung kakatua hinggap di jendela. Nenek sudah tua, giginya tinggal 2.
Cockatoos are also considered as pests that disturb community gardens. Then there was also a story about a man who was angry at his parents because he was not allowed to eat rice before the ceremony of new rice.
Seperti halnya pesan-pesan nenek moyang yang ada di sini, ketika kita berbincang-bincang dengan masyarakat tentang sejarah dan asal-usul dongeng yang ada di masyarakat sendiri, sedangkan nenek moyang sudah memesankan, memberi pesan konservasi terhadap kakak tua Govin ini sendiri, yaitu bahwa anak keturunan itu jangan sampai membunuh atau makan dari burung kakak tua Goviniana. Sehingga ini konsep sederhana yang diajarkan nenek moyang masyarakat di Tanimbar terhadap konservasi kakak tua Goviniana yang merupakan endemik Tanimbar.
There will be many obstacles in protecting Tanimbar Islands, the land of the Tanimbar cockatoo. The cockatoo of Tanimbar is the island's endemic animal, which needs the attention of all parties to sustain its population and ensure its continued existence. If we don't care, and if we don't support the conservation effort, then the cockatoo of Tanimbar will become extinct.